This woman is a Greek, that's what we're told. So she speaks, obviously, the language that Jesus can understand, but she also speaks another whole language. And you can remember, some of you can remember, if you came from an immigrant family, what people in the neighborhood thought about your immigrant parents, aunts, uncles, grandparents, whatever. Well, they better hurry up and learn the language. That's all I've got to say. And of course, if we came from people who learned the language quickly, we're very proud of that, and we don't understand why somebody else who comes into this country can't learn the language as quickly as our wonderful and very learned ancestors who learned it so quickly. Ever tried to learn a new language? I give you a challenge. Go to a store, and they got these little phrase books, you know, when you travel. Go to a store and get one. Pretend you're going to Italy or France or Poland or even Sweden. And then take out the little book and learn, I challenge you, learn 10 phrases in a language you never looked at before. If you studied Spanish or French in high school, get a Polish book. Or if you're really adventurous, get a Russian book and learn 10 phrases and see how long it takes you. So when you think about the immigrants coming to this country, think about that. And English is a difficult language to learn, as most of you well know. So all of these things are wrong with this woman, see. And she confronts Jesus with not just some little thing. She confronts him with saving her daughter's life. So besides all the differences, she presents him with this terrible problem. And Jesus replies, I think he's sort of like role-playing. And what he's doing is he's using the standard religious agenda. This is the standard religious agenda he is saying to this woman. It's the agenda that he heard so much himself. And it was the agenda, in fact, that people carried out in order to kill him. But it's a standard religious agenda. Because in the standard religious agenda, let's face it, some people come first. You know, we hear about the discrimination against Buddhists or against Muslims or any other, but when we hear about what's happening to Christians in certain parts of the world, for instance, in Iraq nowadays, many of the Christians are persecuted. In Palestine, we think of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. There are thousands and thousands of Christians there who are suffering every bit as much as anybody else. And when we hear about the Christians, we get kind of upset about that. How could they do that? And that's what Jesus is doing. He's replaying this agenda when he says, the children must come first. He's referring to the children of Israel, the chosen people. That's what we were told in the Old Testament. Look at Genesis 12, and God promises to Abraham, I will bless you, and you will be a blessing to all people. These are the chosen people. The children of Israel, like Jesus, the Jews, come first, right? And the dogs, of course, are the Gentiles. The dogs are the Gentiles. They're the outsiders. They're really strangers to God. They don't really understand all of this stuff about God that they should understand. They worship in different places with different styles. And we've even heard that some of them like contemporary music. These are hard words. These are hard words. But the woman believes that Jesus is kindness itself, that Jesus has the power to change life, her life and her daughter's life. And nothing interrupts that. No agenda breaks into what she believes, what she hopes for, what she prays for. And she's healed. We don't hear all of what went on there because, as I've said to you before, the Bible is like, New Testament is like newspaper reports. It's like reading USA Today instead of the New York Times. You don't get the whole story, and you get the highlights, bits and pieces, a lot of sound bites. There must have been something else going on there, because what Jesus is doing is drawing this outsider into himself and telling her about the love of God. Because an agenda equals distance, not letting others get too close, not getting really in touch with others, not letting God lead. but letting the agenda lead. And why do we have this distance? Why do we put this distance in our lives? You all know it, you feel it. Maybe can't enumerate all the ways you do it now, but there are ways that you hold people off, even people you love. We've all done it. Why this distance? Are we afraid that we don't measure up? Especially to God. Will we be found out as to who we really are? You know, if people get close enough, they're not going to like me. They're going to find out things about me that I don't want anybody to find out. They're going to make judgments, as if anybody has the right to make judgments. We are afraid to share ourselves because we wonder, is there enough to share? Or will people think that the things that we find important are stupid things? Or will we be expected to provide for someone else what we cannot provide? Someone will love us. Someone will ask for forgiveness. Someone will come to us when we don't want to be disturbed and ask us for something only we can give them, according to them. And will they find out we can't do it? Better to keep him at a distance. The one thing you must say about Jesus is there is no distance between him and the people he confronts, no matter whether they are friend or enemy. There is no distance. The amazing thing about him is that he always shares himself, that he always believes that love and healing are close by and available to us. And the gospel tells us that this Jesus is in you. Amen. On Communion Sunday, it's our custom to stand and greet one another and offer them the peace of Christ. And so will you shake hands now with your neighbor.